Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends, Wooden Railway Adventures, Episode 60, The Trouble with Twins. One day, Bill and Ben were pulling trains. Bah! Said Bill. This is not fair. What's not fair? Said Ben. What we don't get to pull. Well, it's not our choice, said Bill. Don't tell me that, said Ben. The two engines soon to argue. Said Bill. Said Ben, I'm gonna go without you. Bill gasped. No, you can't, said Bill, and he raced after Ben. They soon came over by Gordon. Now what are you two silly little engines doing over here? Said Gordon. We're not two silly little engines, they said. Watch. Ben, I'm supposed to go first, and he bumped into Ben's stuff. Ah, said Ben, and it shook Bill. Ha ha ha. Said Bill. Hee. Said Bill. I'll show him. And Bill puffed away. And he bumped into Ben. Ouch! Said Ben. Watch where you're going. No, I won't, said Bill. Why? He said. Because you're rude. How am I rude? Said Ben. It's not fair that you're always mean to me, he said. Forget about that, said Bill. I'm taking this way, said Ben. And the engines soon began to fight and fight. He crashed into Billy, and Ben crashed into Billy, and Billy roared down the line and flipped over. Ouch, said Billy. Whoa, said Stepney. He almost got knocked over. Ah, yelled Spencer. Ah, yelled Bill, and he crashed into Spencer. Spencer was derailed. Ah, said Rusty, what is going on? Soon Ben raced up. Ah, yelled Rusty, and Ben crashed into him. Silly engines. But when James backed up, his wheels came off. Oh no, he said, and he landed right on top of Ben. Ouch, said Ben. Soon, Stepney came up. What are you silly little engines doing there? Stepney, don't, said James. Ah, said Stepney. Ah, he was almost falling down. He leaned on the stairs. Oh dear, said Stepney. Now what am I going to do? The coach was very mean. But the back one was happy. The front one was mean. Let's push him down. No, said the coach. They tried as hard as, but they did. Oh, and they smashed Sir Topham-Hatt in. Oh, said Sir Topham-Hatt. Ouch. It was a big mess. Oh, thanks a lot, Bill and Ben. What did we do? They said. Look at what you did. They looked at, but they couldn't really see it. Well, said Bill, it wasn't my fault. It was Ben. He said, No, it wasn't, said Ben. And they kept arguing and arguing. I can't take this anymore, the engine said. What is going on here, said Sir Topham Hatt. Then he slipped on a little bit of diesel oil. Ah, what's diesel oil doing here, said Sir Topham Hatt. And he slipped and fell down. Ouch, he said. And he fell into some coal. Ouch. It was a big accident. When Thomas and Percy came up, they saw a whole mess. Oh dear, said Thomas. I need to help this. Thomas said, Percy, let me try. And Percy tried to pick up the mess, but he only got the caboose back on. Come on, said Thomas. Let's do it as teamwork. And they did. They soon put Bill back on the tracks. Why not me first, said Ben. Ben, or be quiet or we're not going to pick you up at all. Bill laughed, but he laughed in a small voice. Let me solve this, said Thomas. You're missing something, said Bill. What am I missing? Thomas said. And he soon showed the car. Said Thomas. Forget about that. And Ben came back up on the track, too. It was a big mess. It took nearly 2 hours to clean up so far. Said Thomas. If only you two engines would have been fighting, this would have never happened. And soon Bill and Ben started arguing again. Enough, said James. This is not going how my best day was supposed to be, he said, and he huffed down the lane. Spencer got back up on the line too, and he went back into his siding. But this time, he backed up. And Rusty was in the same siding. There, said Thomas. Now it's settled, he said. Percy and Thomas soon got back into their sheds. Geez, said Thomas. What grumpy engines they are. Hey, said Ben. I feel like I'm missing something.